least once a year when we have a day like today when it's rainy and dreary outside, I want to make a pot of soup. And not just any pot of soup, an enormous pot of soup. So if you have a large group coming over for, say, a football game, or you want to just cook a lot and then portion it out for other meals, this is a perfect day to do it because you're going to want to stay inside anyway, and this takes a long time. I usually let this cook 3 to 4 hours, and the slower and lower you cook it, the better it tastes. This is a 16-quart pot, so I usually fill it with 4 quarts of water to begin with, and then put it on and let it begin to boil. Make this recipe an all vegetable recipe, or you can do as I have, and I'm adding beef and making a beef and vegetable soup. So I have cubed about 1.5 pounds of beef, and I'm going to add that to the boiling water, and then I'm going to add all of the vegetables that need to be cooked the longest, like a potato. Or the corn. The corn's raw, I'm going to cook it first, and then I'll start adding the other ingredients later. I'm using a separate cutting board from the meat. I usually use a meat cutting board, vegetable cutting board. If I use a knife with the meat, I don't use that same knife with the vegetables. So we're going to switch over to our wooden cutting board, and I'm going to begin with the potatoes. And what I will do is cube them after I wash them. So I've washed the potatoes, and I am going to take the peel off of the potatoes. Many of you like the peel to be on your potatoes, and that is perfectly fine. That is something that if you prefer, just leave it as you like it, but I prefer not to have the peel. But also, I don't drive myself crazy and take off every bit of the peel. I just take off most of it. I'm not going to be that particular. This is more of a farmhouse soup. It's nothing that's going to be served in a restaurant, and I think my friends and family will eat it whether there's a little bit of peel on this potato or not, because this is one of the recipes that they really love. Cut all of my vegetables, just like I did the beef, in bite-sized pieces. Kind of a rough cut, chop, dicing. Most of you have watched for quite a while know that I love to cook. I like cooking at home because I can control the quality of what I eat and control the portion sizes. But of course, we all like to go out occasionally. And since I do have time now to do more cooking, I'm going to do it. It's not such a bad hobby to have. Okay, I'm going to add this to the soup. Let's clean off the board, and then I'm going to take the corn off the cob. I have some corn that I had left over from meals, and I put it in the freezer and I saved it for my soups. But you see, I don't have that much corn. I have other vegetables that I've done the same thing with, because that way I'm not being wasteful, and what the heck, why not use it? So I'm going to add some fresh corn to this, and any of your vegetables that you can use that are fresh instead of frozen or canned just makes it so much more tasty. So I try to go to farmer's market and pick up a few items if I don't already have them and use them in the soup. But I also try not to be wasteful and throw away every bit of vegetables that I have left over. So I will just put them in the freezer. When I need them for soup, I will use them. And this is one of those occasions. So I'm taking the corn off the cob. This is the way I do it. If you have a better way, I'd like to know, because I love getting your comments. I've even seen the little food hack, cooking hack about putting the corn in a bundt dish, and so the corn falls into the bundt dish and then you add it. But I haven't tried that one. And this is my trash can down here. This is why I keep leaning over and throwing things in there. It's not going on the floor, it's going in the trash can. I'm combining the leftover corn I had with this fresh corn, and it's about 2 cans. If you're going to use canned corn, I would say 2 cans. Now here's some items I found at the farmer's market. I have lima beans, and they've been shelled and washed, and then I have okra that I've cut into bite-sized pieces. Now, if you're not a fan of okra, I understand. So don't feel that it has to be included in the recipe. It's just that my family likes okra, so I add it. And if you have English peas or just any kind of vegetable that your family really enjoys, just add it to it, because you want to make it for your family. You don't just follow this recipe. It's just soup. It's nothing complicated. It's just a matter of choosing the ingredients that everybody in your family is going to enjoy. I wanted to use fresh carrots, but I could not find what I was looking for at farmer's market. I should have gone to the grocery, but I did have frozen carrots in my freezer. So we're going to use those, but I'm going to dice them up a little bit because these frozen carrots are a little bit large, and so I'm going to take a knife and do a rough dicing, like that one. Dice them a little bit smaller, and then add these. I think you can tell by my technique that I am not a chef. I'm just a cook. Okay, we'll add those. I have my carrots, and then I also had some leftover lady peas. And lady peas are just like really small black-eyed peas, but they're really, really good. And I had cooked them for a meal maybe 2 weeks ago, and I put the leftovers in the freezer, and this is going in as well. If you have an abundance of tomatoes, use fresh tomatoes. But I don't have that many, so I'm going to use these two 28-ounce cans of diced tomatoes. And 2 cans, and these are cut green beans, not French green beans. 2 small cans of green beans. And leave the green bean juice in with it because that adds a little extra flavor. And let's see, what else do we want to put in? Sorry about the noise. I'm going to add a can of beef broth just to add a little extra flavor. You can also use beef bouillon. Either will work, or if you don't want to make a vegetable soup, don't put either in there. You can use vegetable broth instead of beef broth. But it just so happens I'm going to use both because I had this left over from another recipe, and the vegetable broth will work perfectly with this recipe as well as the beef broth. So we have layers and layers of flavor. And you want to add some salt and pepper to taste. And then I always add sugar. Anytime I make not every recipe, but most of the recipes I make that have tomatoes in it, I will add a little sugar to it just to take a little bit of the tartness out. So let's add a couple spoons of sugar. That will be so delicious. Now, I have all my ingredients written down because I did forget something. Onion. I want to dice an onion and put in with this. I'm glad that I looked at this. But I have just a basic group of vegetables that I like to use in a soup, and then I can add or take away from that. So let me get the onion. We're going to dice that up and put in it, and maybe another ingredient as well. I always keep my onion in the refrigerator until just before I'm getting ready to dice it, because I don't know if it's an old wives' tale, but it's supposed to keep you from crying because the juices are more contained, and it seems to work for me, so I have done that for years. I'm going to add this entire diced onion to the soup, and then I have one more ingredient that I want to talk to you about. So I have the onion in the soup, and the one other ingredient that I generally add to my soup is pasta. Now, if you're gluten-free or you just don't care for pasta, don't add it. But I have done it for a long time, and I've had no complaints, and it adds a little bit of filler. If you choose just the right pasta, it works out beautifully. I wouldn't go with a really thick pasta. This is vermicelli, and so it's very thin, and it works perfectly in a soup. I don't know, you might find a pasta, rotini might work, a small rotini, try that, but I do add pasta to my vegetable soup. Okay, so we have all of our ingredients, but let me double check. Let's see, I put beef, okra, corn, green beans, potatoes, carrots. Black-eyed peas are on my list, but remember we use lady peas, lima beans, a little bit of pasta, a little sugar. You can add salt and pepper. I put in whole onion and those 2 cans of tomatoes. And of course, remember we talked about you could add English peas, whatever vegetables you would like. And I'm going to let this cook for about 3 or 4 hours. Don't forget to stir it occasionally, and don't forget to stir all the way to the bottom so you don't have any burned vegetables. The entire house is filled with the smell of this recipe, and there's nothing better on a cool autumn day than a nice warm bowl of soup. I think you're going to love it. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you're not a subscriber, please tap the subscribe button and follow me on Instagram. Bye!